This is just a sample of the audiobook. To get the complete audiobook, access the link posted in the first comment.
In 1891 and 1892, northern Wyoming witnessed a series of shocking and murderous events, which have come down to us as the Johnson County War. These happenings staggered the people of Wyoming and were made all the more bewildering by sensationally inaccurate newspaper articles that drowned out the reports of Johnson County citizens, the people directly involved in the events. Many volumes have been written about the Johnson County War, but the story has never been told from the viewpoint of the people in the community where the war occurred. This is that story. Buffalo has been the seat of Johnson County, Wyoming, since 1881, when the county first began operation and the town was growing up as an adjunct to a frontier army post. Buffalo's peaceful and pleasing setting today makes it hard to believe this little town was once the center of a happening that, as T.A. Larson wrote, ranks as the most notorious event in the history of Wyoming. It was called the Johnson County War. It happened more than a century ago, and within Wyoming, the very mention of Johnson County still calls up a time of infamy. Even among the ambitious and active young people in Johnson County, Frank Kenton stood out. He was a proud, tough, and ferociously efficient peace officer, traits that very early earned him the admiration and praise of the large cattle interests in the area. He was 33 in 1882, almost 6 feet tall, and slender. He was a good-looking man who seemed to have many friends, but Johnson County people had conflicting feelings about him. His personality was so strong that it seemed that his mere presence caused people anxiety. He intimidated men with only a look. Fort McKinley may have been the primary economic force in Johnson County, but cattle raising was a close second, one that supported a great number of cowboys and a few rich men. Observing that Buffalo sat on the dividing line between the vast stock-raising territory on the south and the agricultural country to the north, the Buffalo Echo contended that the country to the south was not suitable for agricultural pursuits, but was ideal for grazing. The newspaper did not explain why only the northern part of the county was suitable for agricultural pursuits, but it was certainly true that big companies running cattle dominated the southern half of the county, while smaller family outfits raising crops and small herds of cattle dominated the northern half. Both of these groups spotted opportunity early and came into the country soon after the land became accessible. Large corporations, exceptionally well-funded, pushed cattle into southern Johnson County almost at the same time as Fort McKinley was erected on Clear Creek, 1878 and 1879, and began running massive herds. They did so not on privately owned land, but on the public domain, land owned by the United States, theoretically by each and every citizen. In 1878 and 1879, that was every last acre in Johnson County, but the big cattle outfits in southern Johnson County, whether or not they held legal title, occupied and monopolized huge chunks of land, vastly more than they could ever legally claim, asserting rights under fictitious legal theories such as range rights and accustomed ranges.